Welcome.
Welcome. So what an honor it is for Jill and I to be standing here. First of all, my first time to the city. Yay. I had to come all the way to New York to find my people. This is awesome. What a two inspiring days. So I hope that the message that we're about to share with you is just as inspiring as the message that we've received.
So we are CSG. Yes! No? Nothing.
Not exciting?
Okay, let's try that over. We help your kids keep connected devices. Is that a good thing? We help send cable to your house. We help enable your internet connectivity, your 5G mobile connectedness, your wireline telephone, and your wireless telephone. Are any of those services that you guys all consume at home? Yeah. Okay, good. We are the backbone of the biggest communication providers in the world. So we've got 35 years in this space. You probably haven't heard of us, and that's good, because our best day is when your services are going off flawlessly, okay? Yes. We've got 3,300 employees around the world, and we're resident in about 24 different countries. So take a look up here. How many of you guys write a check to one of these logos at least once or twice a month? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, let me just ask, how many of you guys have traditional cable service? Yeah, are you in love with your cable bill?
Not my bill.
Not your bill. Well, we make your bill.
Yeah.
My daughter loves my bill.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is a good, does your daughter consume traditional cable television, or is she more of a Netflix kind of person?
More of a lean back Netflix.
Okay, OTT, right? Over-the-top services. How many of your kids or your kids' kids do you think will grow up, walk to a mailbox, pay a paper bill, and pay for a $200 cable bill 10 years from now? Zero?
My daughter won't pay for it.
No, she won't. She's going to be living in a 5G hotspot, getting YouTube TV at Panera Bread, right? Yes. Right. So how does a company like CSG stay in business when the market is being disrupted? At the speed that we're sitting here at the Agile conference, our competitors are banging down the doors. Those $200 monthly bills that we make a decent amount of market share on, they're going down to pennies on the dollar, because disruptors like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Roku, all of the YouTube providers, free content being delivered to you just by virtue of your Amazon Prime membership. So that's eroding the value proposition of a traditional cable bundle, let alone CSG makes even more money if you have traditional wireline home telephone service. Does anybody have one of those? Do your children, when they move into their first apartment, will they call the local telephone company? No, of course they won't. No. They won't. Okay, so we are CSG, and we're at the Agile conference because we need to future-proof our company. And you guys are helping give us a whole bunch of bag of tricks to make sure we're around for another 35 years. So thank you.
So I am Lesa Phillips.
And I'm Jill Edmundson.
And we are here to represent the Lean Portfolio leadership team at CSG. So what we want to share with you today is our message of coming together. Our journey of dysfunction. Anyone else have any dysfunction? No?
We own ours.
Yes, we
ours.
own it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Disruption.
Yes.
And then redemption. And it's not just our story.
Yes.
This story would not be possible without our product managers, product owners, scrum masters, leadership, business, engineering. So we're just the ones that get the honor of standing here and sharing our story. But this is really a story of many of us.
It is. So our journey that we've been on for the last couple of years together is going to be your tour today. And so we're going to take you on a few different milestone checks here. First, we are going to share our problem. Lesa and I both believe that your secrets keep you sick, right? Yep. Kind of process that for a minute. Your secrets keep you sick. If your team is buried in work that will never see the light of day, and you as a leader aren't doing something to promote that problem statement, it's not ever going to get any better. So we have a big problem to tell you, and then we're going to tell you about the vision that we developed, because once you start asking people what's wrong, the floodgates open, and then you say, okay, we're an outcome-driven culture. How are we going to fix it? So we developed a collective vision. And then we're on the practitioner panel, which to me said, let's give our people something to put in their toolkit. Let's not talk theory and methodology and all these wonderful books that have inspired. Let's give you something that you can maybe apply when you go back to the office on Monday. Fair? Okay, so feel free, nothing in here is proprietary. And we would welcome your contributions to the methods so that next year when we're standing here, we can have even more to share. And then it wouldn't be a fun journey to Wally World and the family truckster if there weren't a few bumps along the way. And man, did we hit some bumps.
We've taken our share of bumps.
We've taken our share of bumps, and we got smarter because of it. And then finally, the value we deliver. And I'd love to sit here and say, oh man, Lesa and I solve world hunger, and we're killing it out there. The value that we deliver is going to be told to you at the end of our presentation through our colleagues' mouths. Yes. Because their story is probably more important than the one we are able to share, yes. And we're just their proxies. So the value we delivered will be shared from our friends at CSG.
So the problem that we tackled, there's more than one. there's a couple of problems, right? Do any of these look familiar? Too much work, lack of alignment, right? Lack of focus.
Squirrel.
Did we miss any? Are there any problems up here that maybe we missed?
Who out here has executives maybe chasing shiny objects? This year it's this big strategic imperative, and this year it's this big strategic imperative. Yes. We want to get to the cloud. We want to reduce our tech debt. We want to be PCI compliant. We want ISO 2700 certificate. Does this all sound familiar? Yeah, because most of you, I think, are coaches in agile transformation. These are the problems that they're asking you to solve, right? Yes. So we had our fair share of problems.
We have.
And we came up with a vision, and we're going to say this together. Change the way we do work. And we always say pronouns are powerful.
Yes.
And so the first pronoun in there, who are my grammar? What's the first pronoun you see in there? We. Jill and Lesa. We are going to change the way we do work. And I came up through CSG through the business side. I was on the business side of the shop for 15 years, first job out of college. They got me because I found out you could wear jeans and drink beer on Friday. And so, and I needed to change the way I do work because I was ingrained in the CSG culture. Lesa came up as a coach.
I came up as an agile coach. And about 18 months ago, the universe aligned and brought us together. Yep. So I came up from the technology side, Jill came up on the business, and here we are.
So we said, let's change the way we work, Lesa.
Yes.
And we're going to do it 3 ways. The first way, guys, we're going to make our work visible. We love Jira. We love pivot tables. We love data modeling. But we really love physical, tangible visibility. As physical as that mirror that you look into in the morning when you're brushing your teeth, that is where our enterprise priorities should be. That visible. So we invested in a laminator and a whole bunch of colored paper, and we overtook a conference room with very little permission. That was one of the bumps. Note to self, talk to the admins before putting tape all over the walls. Yes. But we made our work visible. And then the second thing we did
is we connected our people to the strategy. So often we focus on process, but it's the people that bring it all together. So that is one of the main pillars of our mission, is connect people to strategy. Everybody wants to know why they're doing what they're doing, right?
Yep. And finally, driving engagement, value, and excitement, which is really the coolest part of our job. And we promised that we would share with you guys some actual takeaways, so let's get into it. Look at our logo here. You can see that there's four kind of components, the red one and then 3 dithered gray ones. We're going to go through these rather quickly, but each one of these is kind of a tactical, executable, very pragmatic way that we solve this problem, or are solving is probably a better term, and maybe something you'd want to experiment with. So, TAP room. TAP room for CSG stands for technology and product. And the first thing we did is we said, let's take over a room, just like this, right? And let's put all of our enterprise priorities on the wall. And we embrace lean portfolio budgeting, so we have part of our $65 million of R&D goes to advance our cloud initiatives. Another part goes to advance our security and compliance, client commitments, tech debt reduction, and product roadmap. And it's all proportional. So we color-coded it. And we said, blue is our security, red is our client commitments. And then we started standing up a series of executive leadership meetings that we called Shark Tank. Are you guys familiar with the concept of Shark Tank? Right? You get all the key decision makers who have governance and control over the enterprise portfolio budget, and you get them in the same room looking at finite capacity and making trade-off decisions. So we have our CISO advocating for security and compliance against our VPs and our senior VPs of engineering who are overseeing our product development and our tech debt reductions, and they are competing for the same level of capacity. And we're having informed, business-driven outcomes because we're taking these conversations largely take place in this room and via Skype and virtual channels for our remote attendees. So take a look at this tap room. We started with, Lesa, 250 some epics, a combination of perpetual and planned epics. And by virtue of these conversations, we got our leadership to say, wow, that is way too much. There's no way that a team of 850 developers can manage 200 plus epics. We, through those discussions, got that down to a more manageable number. We got them into a series of stacked ranked priorities. Now, there are 6 number 1 priorities. And does that kind of, maybe does that irk you a little bit? Well, guess what? You had 6 number 1 priorities waking up here this morning. You really did. You had to be timely. That was a priority. You had to get ready. You have to be present. And that's the same thing that we tell our company. Just like running a home, you can't put all your chips on one specific thing. You can't put it all on decorating, and you can't put it all on home repairs. You have to spread the investment, and you have to diversify. And so it does irk some of our folks that we have 6 priorities, but we do prioritize our priorities. So security is our number one. We have to keep your data secure.
We do not want to be in the headlines.
We do not want to be in the headlines. No, that would be bad. And so as you walk in or as you bring your teams in and they say, what do you want me to work on? I've only got so much. You can point to that wall and have a clear view of those enterprise priorities. All right, Lesa, the next. I'm going to go on to you here.
So our second pillar, how do we deliver value? We do that through our release management. We developed a series of tanks, which we'll get into, talking about bringing people and strategy together, planning together, right? Being able to make that group commitment. So our tank strategy, we have Shark Tank, and then we have Think Tank, which is our product management and product owners. We bring them together intentionally every 2 weeks to plan. We have our Do Tank. Anyone heard of a Scrum of Scrums? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Do Tank. For our Scrum Masters that get the work done, right? They're getting that work through the pipeline. That's where we do our risk mitigation. We talk about impediments. We also have a strategic and a tactical side to that. And our newest tank is our Biz Tank because, again, we need to bridge that gap. We're speaking different languages. Engineering and business, we're talking over each other. So we created a forum that allows our engineering and our business partners to come together, talk about potential conflicts or potential scope creep, impacts to our clients, and have those conversations. So these 3 groups come together intentionally, not by escalation. Mm-hmm. Because it's always better to come together intentionally, right? We're building trust. We're building transparency. And notice the room that all of these groups are in. So no matter where you are in the organization, we're cascading that communication. There's no secrets. So the decisions that are being made at the Shark Tank level are shared at the Think Tank level, are shared at the Do Tank level, are shared with the business. So everyone can see where our priorities are at any given time. And what's being worked on and how their teams work ties back to that bigger strategy. PI planning. Nothing like bringing, okay, I will never complain about having 70 teams again, right? Not after hearing what you guys said.
1,800 agile teams?
Yeah. So bringing 70 teams together and being able to say, how much work can each of these teams get done? So we've developed some in-house tools to say, here's a team's capacity, and here's how it breaks down into that capacity allocation. Jill talked about, we've got a little bit of budget to spend in each area. Are the teams allocating that appropriately? We've got, again, business, engineering, leadership, all in one room together, planning, no secrets. We're having those difficult conversations when there are capacity constraints. Leadership, you're right here. What comes out and what's going in, right? So again, here's just some snapshots of, and we do have a little bit of fun. Jill and I like to have fun, if you couldn't tell. So, right, we're a software development company. We have to have a little bit of fun along the way, right? We have to inject a little humor when we can. So you can see we've always got a fun little theme going.
And to that point, driving engagement and excitement, we have such a cool privilege that every meeting we have, every event we facilitate, every conference call, we're connecting with our colleagues. I mean, we're all just people at the end of the day, right? We walk in because we have a broader purpose. Maybe we want to send our children to a wonderful school. We're trying to pay we all walk in for the same reason. So anytime we can connect in a meaningful way with our colleagues and make others feel engaged and make others feel excited and feel valued for the work that they're doing on that day, we do. And one of the coolest things that we've done, and we've done a lot, any way we can connect with our people, we do. But we do these showcases. So have any of you ever heard of Price is Right, Showcase, Showdown, come on down? Yes, there's something cool. There's a reason why that show's been on the air for 40 years. People love seeing things, right? You want to see the dishwasher. You want to see, and it's hard when you work in the nebulous product kind of development industry, especially software, because it's hard to connect with that. So once a year, we throw a huge expo, and we bring all of our product managers and product owners down, and we challenge them to showcase what they've built. Now, how do you do that if maybe you're a data analyst? How do you showcase data? Well, these guys came up with it. At the very bottom, that's our friend Jim and our friend Jeff. They had a model where you had to execute a query on a legacy platform and then execute a query on a cloud-based platform, and they had standing room only. Yeah. Who would have thought? I mean, only in our company is that a fun day, but that was really cool, and it was a really innovative way to showcase the value that they're creating. We bring our executives in, we do big panel talks, we do giveaways. We also honor the folks that are courageous enough to bring epics through the system. We have an epic graduation party too, and pomp and circumstance, and we play the thing. Everybody got a yearbook entry, so yes. Yeah, we try to have fun. And if you're thinking, Evan, where's Evan? If you're thinking, wow, how do you host a showcase 4 times a year? The answer is you don't. That would be fatigue. We would be booed out of the building. So 3 times a year, we do a virtual showcase.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we started with the showcase every 13 weeks, and it was like, okay, this is getting to be much. So now we basically do an infomercial. We do a virtual showcase on demand. It's an 8 to 10 minute video highlighting the showcase of the value of the software that we created over the last PI. So.
And our final pillar is our newest pillar, and that's our transformation enablement. We understand that this is not a one and done. We need to bring leadership. We need to bring business along on this journey with us. So this is a new area for our team. We have a successful track record. So leadership came and said, hey, you guys have done so good with the rest of this. We'd like you to help with the transformation enablement. So again, it's just helping spread that agility throughout the rest of the organization as well.
So Lisa and I have done a lot of talking, but we told you earlier that this is really a collective story. And the pictures that you see here are just a fraction of the people that made our story possible. And we knew that we had the privilege of coming to New York and standing on the stage, but we wanted to share their story with you. So we're gonna go ahead and roll the video. And it's only about 1.5 minutes long, but it's a pretty compelling message.
Collaboration.
Growth.
Alignment.
Refreshing.
Cohesion.
Limitless.
Energized.
One team.
We are building and strengthening relationships.
I've always felt that I've been a part of the product management team, but over the last year, I would say I'm actually part of 2 teams.
There's both sides listening. It's not just one direction.
We understand each other's work. We understand that we are working towards one goal.
I think there's just so much more communication that's occurring between the 2 organizations that it reduces the amount of surprises and misdirections that you might have.
Having the work visible is very helpful for managers and teams to say yes and no to things.
As we're executing PI after PI, there's not a lot of chaos.
There's something great about collaboration and not having it be just kind of a dictation of where we're going, because we get brilliant ideas from engineering that, like, oh wow, we can turn that into a product offering.
We're more in tune with what each group is doing, how we want to get there. We have a full picture, we have a broad picture of everything.
I'm seeing the benefits of the alignment, the prioritization, the autonomy to choose the work that the teams need to do.
I think the collaboration that we do between what investment themes are we focusing on, using the capacity insights to better understand where we're at and where we need to focus on, has led to a lot more sophisticated discussions in terms of how we plan out our roadmaps.
Cohesive.
Collaboration.
Encouraged.
Blossoming.
Enjoyable.
Energy.
Alignment.
Goal.
Listening.
So thank you all so much for your time here. I hope we can keep in touch and connect. We've shared our LinkedIn profiles and our Twitter handles and our good old-fashioned email address. So we're here to help you, and thank you so much for all the help and guidance that you've provided us.